Hey everybody, it's Ian the Off-Kilter Crafter.
And I'm Becca.
And I'm the Bear Quilter.
Yay! Hey, Bear Quilter, you got any fun facts for us?
Spoiler alert, I'm wearing clothes today.
Okay, I feel like we gotta let people in a little bit, because if you haven't seen Todd the Bear Quilter on social media, he typically is sewing very comfortably in boxers and undershirts. So it's kind of not on brand for him to be wearing a shirt at the moment. I feel like.
Yeah, no, it's true. I did wear this one special today because I do feel like it is emblematic of my general vibe, which is as little clothing as possible.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because when you were on the podcast with all the other guys, there was a comment in the comments section that was like, everybody did such a great job, but that one guy, he should have put on more clothes. And I was like, you don't know his brand, unfortunately, it sounds like. You don't know that he typically sews in less than normal attire.
Listen,
right. I do.
Go ahead, Todd.
Oh, I was just going to say, I do feel like I was very overdressed for that particular episode.
I can relate as a woman in her late 40s. I have embraced the Todd wardrobe at times in my studio, and it's wonderful. There's boxers and a tank top.
Yeah, there's really nothing better than just kind of being in your studio with very little clothing and doing your work. It's wonderful. Wear slippers or flip flops, though. Don't drop a pin and step on it.
Well, speaking of work, let's talk about the work we've done, about our quilts that we have on our lap today. I have one, and guess what? Yet another one that is not bound. It is just serged on the edge. Although it does have
usable.
It's still usable, and it is very warm. It is. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have put this one on today, but it has Meiji on the back, and this one is Take Me to the Magic. It is a pattern that you can find on Etsy. This is the first cuddle I get with this one because it is going off to my friend once it gets bound. I'm taking it to Disney with me because my friend lives in Orlando and I'll be hand delivering it to him, but I get the first cuddle with it.
That's awesome. I always love to cuddle with quilts before I give them away.
Mm-hmm.
And I never know what quilts I'm going to give away, so I just cuddle all of them.
It works.
Then I can say that every quilt was pre-cuddled by me.
Exactly.
I am here to battle your Halloween vibes with my Christmas quilt. September for you is Halloween.
Yes.
But September for my husband and I is pre-Christmas. We call it fall. So this is a quilt that I did on a live stream. It is just a 16 patch, a bunch of 16 patch blocks from a jelly roll. I got it quilted this week, and it is also not bound.
Yep.
It is not even serged on the end. So maybe yours is one step further along than mine.
Sure.
But this is a free pattern that I do have on my website. So if anybody wants to check it out.
Very cool. Todd, what do you got for us?
I today am with Candy, the stripper quilt. She was one of the quilt-alongs that I did on TikTok. Ooh, gosh, like 2022, and is the first quilt that I long-armed myself after I got my long arm.
Oh, very cool. Awesome.
I love the colors.
The colors are great. Absolutely.
Yes, the fabric reminded me a lot of ribbon candy. I am also a Christmas person, so the colors reminded me of ribbon candy, hence the name Candy. And it was 2.5 inch strip quilt. So
I love the name Stripper Candy. That's
I love it.
That's awesome.
It's great.
So, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, we have a lot to talk about because Todd hasn't been on. Technically, he has been on the podcast before, but it was with a panel of other guys. We had a lot of things going on, so we didn't really get to know Todd all that much during that podcast. So let's start off at the beginning. How in the world did you start off sewing and quilting? Where did that come from, and what's the backstory on that?
So the backstory is I've been sewing for many, many, many years. My mother and my grandmother were both sewists, and they both worked for clothing companies, and they both made lots of clothing. And it was important to my mother that while she only had boys, she had 4 boys, that we all knew how to like sew and put buttons on and hem and those things. All of my brothers promptly forgot. But I enjoyed it, so I kept doing sewing right up until like probably until I started working full time, like as an actual adult, like 21, something like that. And then I just didn't have time anymore because I had to work full time and do all of the things. And I started quilting accidentally many years later, when a friend asked me to help her fix and or make a beach blanket. And so I did like the whole like YouTube tutorial to try to figure out how to do like binding and all of that stuff. And I spent 12 hours like watching all sorts of those videos from like Angela Walters and Leah Day and all of them. And the next day, I was a quilter.
The next day.
The next day.
The next
The
day.
next day.
You went to the University of YouTube
Mhm.
and became an expert overnight.
Overnight.
How many of us have done that?
Everybody has done at
I
least
feel
on,
like-
maybe not on quilting, but at least one subject or another.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Feel like your husband has become a plumber overnight. Anyways, I don't know.
Was that an inside joke? Was there plumbing that needed to be? I'm not tracking.
No,
Oh.
I feel like your husband.
Oh, my husband.
Yeah, your
Oh.
husband. Yeah, your husband. I feel like your husband, like when he starts in on a subject, he like goes down the rabbit hole. Recently, he's picked up pickleball, and like all of the videos on his served videos are all pickleball related now.
That's how it was when he started fencing. Now Mondays he goes fencing, and Saturday mornings he goes and plays pickleball. I don't know who this man is. What he likes to poke other guys, and then he likes to play pickleball.
Hey now.
I'm just saying.
He likes to poke other boys and then plays with pickles. All right. So, anywho, this episode is going downhill very quickly. People are going to be like, bye-bye, click. What are some styles that you tend to find yourself leaning into? And because I've seen a couple, I've seen your work, I've seen the quilts that you create, and I'm trying to put a thread together with them, and I can't quite put my finger on it. So you're going to have to fill us in on that.
I don't know that I have a specific like style. I enjoy color. So there's always every quilt that I make has color story to it. There's always something with the color that is kind of flowing through the quilt. So I enjoy playing with color. I like that a lot. I tend to be a traditional piecer. I'm not giant on applique. I'm not a big EPP person. I do tend to like traditional patchwork. If you are an EPP person, no shade. I think they're beautiful. I just don't enjoy doing it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So those are kind of, if you look at all of the quilts that I do, it is a lot of traditional piecing, and there's always a color story. There's always something in there that is different, or a different aspect of color that I haven't explored before.
What about you, Ian?
I'm bold, bright colors and usually modern kind of aesthetics. Usually.
You lean very much towards anything geometric.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
100%.
100%.
I think it's easier for people to point out what your vibe is than it is for you to figure it out yourself. Because if you ask me that, I just be like, I don't know. I like stuff with stars. I don't know. It's got a star in it. I'm buying the pattern.
Yep. Very true. Very true. So we met you first at QuiltCon. Well, I should say Becca collected you at QuiltCon.
That's what so this is a story that I actually love to tell. Like I was sitting at a table kind of by myself because I didn't know anybody. This was Raleigh in
Yeah.
Mhm.
2023, 24, 24. Um, so I was sitting at a table kind of by myself. The only person that I knew really kind of there had come and sat, and it was Scott. Because I had met him at the previous QuiltCon. So we were chatting, and then like you guys had like a whole group of people and kind of sat down and seemed really fun and blah blah blah. And then I don't remember exactly how it came up, but somebody mentioned that I sew
It
online
was
in my
Scott.
underwear. It was Scott. Of course it
It
was.
was Scott.
Uh,
Because I think I recognized you and I said something. I don't remember the words I said, but it was something to that effect. And Scott was like, he's TikTok famous, but he has more clothes on. That's what he said. And I was like, oh, and it kind of clicked at that point.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we became instant friends for QuiltCon.
Mhm.
The other memory I had of QuiltCon is Tiffany bought so Tiffany was there with us and
Yep.
she went to one of the booths and they had that black shirt that said Stitch on it
Mhm.
and she bought one for me and I wasn't going to buy that shirt, but then I just wore it on Sunday because it was the last day. I was like, okay, Tiffany bought it for me. I'm going to wear the shirt because she's wearing it. And then I show up and I'm walking down an aisle and Todd's walking towards me and he's got the same shirt on.
I remember. So the inside joke is that Becca collects the gays, like trading cards. She collects the gays because I remember like looking down one of the aisles, and I swear to you, maybe my memory's wrong on this, but I feel like I saw her one arm locked in with Todd, one arm with Bill, and they're like traipsing down the aisle in the shopping area at QuiltCon, and it was just like, what is happening? And then I got swooped up into it, and it just became this whole
It
like
was like the Wizard of
entourage.
Oz following
Yeah,
the Yellow Brick Road.
yeah, it really
It's like,
was.
off
It was,
to see the QuiltCon. Yeah, I that definitely happened.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah. I
Mhm.
felt, yeah. It was like, oh, okay, cool, got it. It just became this entourage around Becca, and we love it. We love it.
Yeah, but I think in Phoenix, that relationship went up a notch, at
Mm.
least for you.
Mhm. Oh
Not
yeah.
jealous or anything. But I feel like Todd and a few others you guys have used you have QuiltCon to thank for
Mhm.
a profound relationship that you now
Mhm.
have.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
you get to meet your TikTok famous friends and then you get to have big bonds with them. So can we talk a little bit about how that evolved for you in Phoenix?
Yeah, absolutely. It because it was you and Chris and was somebody else, was there a third person? So I feel like somebody else was there, but I'm like my memory is not
Yeah.
doing so well at the moment, but
Coffee, drink more of it.
right.
Well, so I had so Michael Quilcamy from Instagram. Michael and I roomed together at QuiltCon because we're kind of from the same area, so it just made sense. So we got an Airbnb together at QuiltCon. And then Chris, Rose City Originals, Chris and I have been kind of friends and mutuals for several years since QuiltCon Atlanta was the first time I met him in person, but we had been mutuals on TikTok kind of before that. Um, and so then we got to hang out a bit, and Matthew J. Har was there also, kind of mutuals with all of us. So and Ian and I had been mutuals on I think Instagram for a
Yeah.
while, so we had been kind of friendly chatting and whatnot. And it was kind of the perfect storm. Like QuiltCon in Phoenix was kind of the perfect storm because we were all in the same place at the same time for the first time I think ever. Um, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
uh, and it was just one of those kind of magical things where you find people that not only that you kind of are friendly with and that you mesh with well, but you find people who are very, very like-minded,
Mhm.
and who are very supportive of the things you do, but also are doing, really incredible things that you are not doing. So it was really one of those like kind of things that just sort of happened organically, and we were able to kind of capture it. And it's been fantastic.
Yeah. I really liked because I didn't really interact with um Matt or Michael all that much. Like
Hmm.
I had not known them very well. I knew of them, but I didn't know them. And so like getting to meet them in person and hang out with them. Matt didn't join us at when we were hanging out at the Airbnb, unfortunately, but we're gonna change that this upcoming year. Um but it was fun to like, really get to know everybody and have those fun conversations and get to know people on a deeper level. And like over the
Hmm.
past, months, we've really bonded and created a really strong, tight knit group of friends, which I love. I love that. I love that QuiltCon does that. So, yeah, it's been a really fun bonding experience, and seeing Bear in all shades of dress has been. I'm kidding, totally kidding. But no, it's been a great relationship, and like finding that tribe that I didn't know I needed.
Yeah, I remember when that happened, we were in an Airbnb together with
Mhm.
Tiffany and a couple other friends. And after like you had some interaction with them. It wasn't the night that you guys all hung out.
Mhm.
It was before then. But what I kept hearing from you is I can't believe they want to hang out with
Right.
me because you had them all kind of like, while they were definitely mutuals, they were in a category that you felt like you were reaching and they were settling, maybe I guess how I would explain it. And so it was almost like you were starstruck a little
Oh
bit.
yeah.
And then that morphed. It was really interesting to watch because that morphed very quickly from fangirling, if you will, to like, that's my friend, that's my
Mhm.
posse, that's my clique. And it's been interesting to watch. And I think it's neat because I don't know how to say this. I don't know how to get the words out, but th- I feel like that's a community that is so small in the quilting world, right? Because all of you have the same, like, I think everybody is like, like the same sexual orientation.
Mhm.
You're all males. You're all content creators. You're all quilters. And so to be able to share aspects of all of those and understand what each other is going through, what
Mhm.
your struggles are, and being able to support one another, it's huge. Like, I know the relationship that you and I have, and it's nice because we're both quilters, but we're also content creators. And so we understand the vibe and the struggle. But you've taken that up a notch with this group of gentlemen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Todd, just what
Hmm.
yesterday you sent out a pattern to all the guys to look
Yeah.
over and check, and there's a lot of crossover because we do all create content. We all do social media. We all like, yeah, we're very, there are so many overlapping similarities that we're able to support each other on. Like, I'm asking about small business. How does that work? What do I need to
Hmm.
do? Like, all the things. So it's
Right.
it's been such a supportive group to be able to go to the guys and be like, "Oh, I need help with XYZ. Can
Mm-hmm.
anybody,
Right.
whatever."
And the small business aspect of it was something that I had no, I had no inkling was something that we were going to end up talking about. But
Yeah.
several of us are running kind of small personal businesses, and talking it as unsexy as it is, sometimes talking about like what accounting software you're using, or uh, or if you have run into a particular issue with sales tax or something like that, is like, oh my god, I have a group of people who I can ask a really dumb question to.
Yeah.
um,
Absolutely. Like my question I'm trying to get merch going, and that is just so frustrating because I just want to
Mhm.
get my merch out there. But, collecting sales tax, how do I, which platform is going to be the best for that? And
Mhm.
all the things that go into, like, people don't realize how much goes on the backside of things to make a simple merch item
Right.
appear, like on a website or anything. So it's so frustrating.
Right. Right. Your face just doesn't show up on a pair of boxer shorts without all of the other stuff to happen.
It's true. It's true.
I need those boxer shorts. I'm sorry. That I just like a toss print of your profile. I'm sorry. I pictured it as soon as he said it.
Yep. Yep. Oh my gosh. Too funny.
I I don't know. This is where I feel like the minority part of what you bring to the table is actually a bonus for you
Mm,
because it's a little bit easier. It's almost like a needle in the haystack when you're finding that person, but when you see them, you know immediately, and there's an instant bond, just like when two quilters find each other, right?
yep.
But you're adding all those other layers on top of it. I don't feel like, other than you, I don't feel like I have that close bond with somebody that's trying to do a business, that's trying to write patterns, that's making content, that also quilts. I don't necessarily have that. I have acquaintances, but nobody that I feel like I could go to with the stupid questions right now.
Mhm.
So I can appreciate having that. And I'm benefiting from it because you're learning from them and then I get to pick your brain.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of navigating difficult situations, Bear, I keep calling you Bear. It should be
It's
Todd, but
fine.
I keep calling you Bear because that's what everybody knows you
Right.
by on social media.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, like it was Bear before social media. Like that
Oh,
was my nickname before social
Oh,
media. So when people say it, it's natural. I
okay. All right. Good to know. Good to know. You unfortunately have been struggling a little bit because you had quite the incident happen recently.
Mm, mhm.
Do you want to talk about? I mean, this may be a sore subject, and you're like, no, I don't want to talk about
Yes.
this.
No, I'll totally talk about it because if people can learn from my misfortune, um, then good. So what happened was that um, I was July 17th. I was working in my studio here, um, and I went upstairs. Um, made something to eat, sat down, watched TV with the girls, my dogs. Sat down, watched TV with the girls, and literally like 20 minutes after going upstairs, a giant lightning strike hit. It
wow.
hit my oak tree in the backyard and jumped from the tree to the house, and ran through all of the wiring. And unfortunately, while I would normally have had everything kind of unplugged, I had everything on UBS backups that did not protect the machines. So I have been spending the last about 2 months going back and forth with machine repair and insurance and all of those things. And I'm still my long arm is officially done.
Mm.
So it is no more, and I need to replace the long arm. I need to figure out how to do that and what to do with it, and whether or not I need a new frame, and all of those things are coming into play. My regular machine, which was a Baby Lock Crescendo, is still at the repair shop because the parts that are needed to fix it are on back order.
Oh,
Mm.
So I have been not doing a whole lot of sewing. I have a backup machine. It's not that it's not usable. It's just not the same, and it doesn't
yeah.
run the same, and it's not my preference. So if I have to do something, I can. But so I've not been doing a whole lot of sewing and quilting for the last 2 months or so.
My goodness.
Oh,
I couldn't imagine.
I
Yeah.
know.
it's really hard, and fortunately, I have some friends that I can complain to a bit when it becomes a lot, because there are days when I'm like, all I want to do is get in here and create, and I can't, or I can't to the same effect. But also, I can't sew in my underwear if I can't sew. So there's a problem there
Yeah.
with content, right? Like trying to make that stuff. So what I have been doing a lot of is pattern writing for the last month or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's it. That actually segues to a really good topic, because I was going to ask, if you can't sew and that's your creative outlet, what have you been doing to feel creative?
So I have patterns that I had like kind of half thought through. So those are things that I started working on and kind of bringing back. And the fortunate part of that is that is that I have been able to do that and focus on that, and which is all stuff that I wanted to do and just never really found time for. So the fortunate part is that I have that and I've been able to do it. The unfortunate part is that I am now going to have to figure out the next steps with machines and whatnot. Maybe I'll clean my sewing space.
His face was straight the
I
whole time he
know.
said that.
I know.
Were you being serious?
That's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, you're really kind of having to start from scratch almost because of losing the long arm. First of all, losing your long arm and not being so. First of all, let's put the emphasis on make sure to unplug your devices when they are not being used. I know I've been bad on that, and then after hearing what happened to yours, I went to my sewing machine and was like, nope, unplug right now.
Unplug.
We're not doing that.
Yeah, and I thought I thought I would have been protected just by having the UBS on there, and it blew through that UBS. It fried them both, and then went right through into the machines.
That's crazy because I have, for both my work computer and my personal computer, I'm connected to a UBS, and I'm sitting here going like, oh geez, like this is scary.
It is, but it's also like, no offense, it sucks.
Yeah.
And the impact is huge, but the probability of that happening, very, very slim.
Yeah.
Right.
Is but it's something that's easily avoidable, right? Like if you
Yes.
just unplug, at least when you know there's going to be a thunderstorm in the area.
Yeah.
Unplug the expensive machines. Maybe you don't have to do it every night before you go to bed, but perhaps if you know that there's a storm coming, maybe consider it.
Yeah.
And I would encourage everyone shameless plug. I would encourage everyone to go to my TikTok channel and see the videos that are posted. There's a video of the Ring camera from a neighbor that is a whole street over.
Oh, wow.
Showing the lightning strike.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They say lightning doesn't strike twice, but I don't know if I would tempt that.
Yeah, no. Well, I can't hit that tree anymore because it's gone. But
I'm just shocked because I saw some of the footage you showed. I think on I almost said Instagram. Well, no, I think you did put it on Instagram.
I did.
And TikTok. Yeah. It was such a powerful lightning strike that it literally like blew the lights out, the floodlights that you have on, that you had apparently just put up too.
Just put up. I just like the week before I had just put up new floodlights outside, and I had just put in new lights in the kitchen and in the studio down here. All of
crazy.
all of them blew out.
Right.
Oh
and
my gosh.
The impact was so intense that it blew out your basement windows.
Yes.
What?
So the three windows in the basement on that side of the house all blew out. They both blew out and blew in. So there was glass all over the back of where my garage is. There was glass behind my washing machine. There was glass in the yard. The coaxial line, I don't have cable TV, like I don't know anybody who does anymore, but the coaxial box on the back of the house blew off the back of the house and was like 20 feet away from the house. Like it was really intense. I screamed like a little girl when it happened.
I can't. I don't know that I would not scream
I
like a
think
little
everybody
girl.
would have
Yeah.
screamed, "You're fine."
I think I would have hit the deck at that point.
Oh
Goodness
my gosh.
gracious.
I like, okay, so I didn't see the reel. He had told me that happened.
Mhm.
I was like, oh my gosh. And so when he talked about equipment being fried, I was like, okay, I've heard of that happening. That tracks. But I never would have thought that like windows would have been blown
Mhm.
out and stuff. That's, oh,
Yeah.
that's, it's, oh,
It was pretty intense. We were in a hotel for about a week or so. We weren't allowed to be in the house because the tree had split and would have fallen on the house or could have fallen on the house.
oh,
But
wow.
also but also even if that wasn't the case, we didn't have electricity because they had to take the box, the panel had to
Panel.
come off the house.
Mm.
Yeah. I think this is a good time also to remind everybody, like, just go around your house and videotape. Take a
Yes.
video recording of your house. Just, show everything.
Mhm.
In case anything ever happens, you have a video record and do it periodically, like once a year. Go through your house, record the house, and show off what you have and save it on your phone. So that way, if there was anything catastrophic that ever happened,
Right?
you have video record of it and can help jog your memory on what you had and also prove to insurance what you have.
There's a reason why I have studio tours on my YouTube channel.
Mhm.
It
Yes.
keeps me honest doing that. Well, here's my long arm. Shot
Right,
in every
right.
video.
It's also one of those things where today every store you buy like big ticket items from will email you a receipt.
Yep.
Get the emailed receipt. No, none of us remembers where we put the paper receipt from 4 years ago, but I haven't
true.
changed email in 15 years. So,
Yep.
That's a good idea too. I have been like archiving those
Mhm.
in a folder for receipts, so I hadn't thought about it from that way. I always think about, okay, well, if I ever need this for tax purposes, but for insurance purposes too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have a folder that has an archive folder that I think I have receipts from 15 years ago. I
Wow.
kid you not. Like I never go through, and every single order, no matter what it is, goes into that folder. And yeah, I'm sure that's a bulk of my memory that's being used for my email, but if I need it, it's there.
Thread, dang it. There
look
we
how
go.
informative we are.
I know, right?
Look at that. You thought we were just going to talk about sewing in our underwear, but we actually have real tips for you.
It's true.
The only thing I'd say about the electrical storm, as soon as he started talking about the windows blowing out, I immediately started picturing Ian with his weather conditions.
Oh my
So
gosh.
you have like, what did that do for you when he told you that? Because you have certain feelings about severe weather.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah, I have storm anxiety, big time,
Mm.
big time. And it comes from growing up in Texas. I was in the 1995 hailstorm at Mayfest. If you are from Texas, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It was a terrible hailstorm. I was actually at Mayfest shortly before it happened. It was a crazy night for sure. But yeah, growing up in Texas, there are a lot of tornadoes. There is hail, there is wind, there is everything. And growing up, I had a lot of storm anxiety because tornadoes just freak me out. And moving here has been such a relief because we don't really have tornadoes here too often. There's been one since I've been here. And so in Texas, when a storm would start bubbling up, I would really start to get worried. And especially if it was like, the weather, the news station would put out a weather alert for that day saying, hey, there's going to be severe storms. I would pack up my machine and put it in the closet. I would get everything, I would get into my shelter mode.
If I had a nickel for every time you Marco Polo'd me from in the closet and the number of jokes I made about Ian going back into the closet,
It's
I'd
true.
be I wouldn't need to work anymore.
It's true. It is sad but true. And moving here has been such a relief. Now, when the storms come in, I can kind of breathe a little bit. I am still a little nervous for such things like what happened to you, Todd. I'm still a little nervous for that kind of thing, but my storm anxiety has definitely gone down greatly. And I don't get as freaked out because a lot of times it's just wind. It's just a lot of wind.
Right.
And even like the thunderstorm itself, it's usually not too intense. There's a couple of thunder booms and then it's just kind of over.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's been quite the change. Quite the year's change a little bit.
What about you, Todd? Now that that's happened, do you have Ian storm anxiety?
I don't really. So, I mean, I'm from, northern Vermont, and so thunderstorms were a thing that happened. I have never seen anything like what happened, what hit my tree. I feel like that's a once in a lifetime event.
Let's hope.
Wood.
Let's
And,
knock wood right now, Todd.
right. And so I don't fear that happening again. With that said, what gives me more anxiety is driving in North Carolina when it rains, because people here have no idea how to drive a car in the rain.
Yeah.
That was Texas too. Let's be honest, that was Texas as well. So yeah, I feel that for sure. So getting off of storm anxiety and all of that funness, because who knows, somebody out there may be like, no, stop talking about storms. What do you, so obviously you live stream on TikTok a lot of times, you hang out on TikTok, you sew, you do all the things. What is Todd like outside of sewing? Are there things that you do outside of sewing and hobbies that you do other than sewing?
Yes. I like to, I do paint. I have painted and whatnot. And I don't do it a lot anymore. It's very expensive. Like when people talk about expensive hobbies, painting is super duper expensive. And so there's that. I do a lot of yoga. You'll find some yoga videos on my channel. I love yoga. Find um, I find every day, like even a little bit, even if you're just going to do 10 minutes, it's helpful for some mindfulness. It's helpful for general stretching. It does really good things for your mental health. So I love yoga. I like to kind of talk to people about yoga a little bit if they're into it. Especially people like me who are in bigger bodies. I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions about who can do yoga or who can do this particular fitness thing. And I always like to say, yoga is for all bodies. All bodies can do it. And it's a very good way to increase some strength, to give you better mental health, to give you a little bit of time away from everything. You shut yourself in a room with your mat, a little bit of music, and just kind of stretch. You don't have to follow a specific plan. It really is just about the movement and the mindfulness.
Wow. I did not know that about you, Todd, and that's amazing. When I was in theater in college, we would start off in acting fundamentals. One of the warm-ups we would do was yoga. They would do the professor taught us a couple of different yoga poses and we would do yoga. It hurt. I did not enjoy it at all. To be completely honest with you, it was kind of terrible. So I don't know if maybe they taught me wrong. I don't. Everybody else was like, "Oh, this feels so good," and I'm like, "No, it does not."
I think that there are very many poses that I would not recommend for somebody who's never done it before, because you kind of do contort yourself a little bit in some of the yoga, but really for people like me, it's really more about being limber and giving yourself the time and space to create some strength and some healthy body and ground yourself.
I am, but I think that's because I have spent some of my youth doing things that required,
Mm.
like when I was a teenager, I'd always wanted to be in ballet, and my foster mom told me I owed it to myself to do ballet.
Mhm.
And I never had weight problems growing up. I gained all my weight as an adult. So I had to be a bit limber for that. And so there are parts of my body, like I feel like my hips, I can move a little bit more. And I've always kind of liked that. And so I've done like simple stretches and things to keep it a little bit limber. But I don't know that I'm full on yoga stuff,
Yeah.
which is interesting. I don't know if you caught my face when you started talking about it, Todd, about how you do yoga and it's maybe against the stereotype when you look at your body type. My jaw hit the floor because I was like, wow, okay, because I would never think about doing yoga as a bigger person. I've always figured that that's something for fit people
Right.
and thinner people, but no, there's, when I wake up in the morning, one of the things that I've found myself doing over the past few months, I'm sure people have noticed like my face is thinning down and things. So I've started losing a bit of weight and it's made it easier to do things, physical things that I haven't been able to do before or haven't been able to do in a very long time.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I really have enjoyed doing is when I wake up, I like to roll over onto my back. And I kind of do this, I don't know if it's a yoga pose, but I kind of do this weird thing where my legs cross while they're up and then I just kind of twist I don't know how to explain it, but it stretches out my back. It stretches out my legs a little bit. It makes my hips feel really good. And it just makes it easier to be throughout the day, especially since most of the day my butt's going to be sitting in a chair in front of a computer.
Right.
Yep.
And so that stretch, I don't remember what it is called, but
it is a stretch.
It is a stretch. And so what it does is it expands your vertebrae in the lower part of your back, and it helps to relax those muscles. But it also helps with your abductors and whatnot, because it stretches that part of your buttock out.
Talk. I like the way you said that.
So,
talk.
So, those are really great examples of things that kind of everybody can and should do in the morning. Another one that I really like, if you're still laying in bed and you're laying on your back, is you can take like your right leg and kind of swing it over your body to the left side. And that also helps to relieve a lot of tension on your side. You don't need to throw it over. You don't need to like really, really stress it out that much. You just kind of roll it over and leave it there for 30 seconds and let those muscles stretch out.
How did you get into yoga? I'm curious how this started.
Oh gosh, it was actually a TikTok thing that happened. So I became friends with somebody who was like, you know, maybe you should try this, because I had been on a health journey early on in my TikTok world. So they were like, you should maybe try this. And so I started kind of doing a little bit of the beginner stuff that you can find on YouTube for free. And then it just kind of happened from there. I really enjoy the beginner stuff on YouTube for people. If you find the right fit, because there's a 1,000,005 people doing yoga. If you find the right fit, the person who's speaking in a way that speaks to you, the most important part is not the person, it's not the practice, it's not the type of yoga. The most important part is that you feel good while you're doing it and that you're not hurting yourself doing it. I think people do, and again, I think because people have this idea of what yoga is, and it's getting into all these crazy poses and blah blah blah. I think that people find uh, when they find that it's not actually that, and it is actually a bit of body strength training and a bit of grounding and a bit of stretching, that people really start to enjoy it. Um, you mentioned, Ian, that you can't touch your toes, and that's so not important. It's just not an important part of doing it. It's the important part is that you're stretching. Like if you're trying to get down that way, you're stretching your back out and you're not hurting yourself doing it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it's not necessarily. I have flexibility issues because it's not necessarily like touching the toes. It's the fact that like even sitting, if I was to sit on the floor with my legs straight out in front of me, there is tightness behind my knees. It's so tight and it's painful. Like a lot of times I'll sit cross-legged because it is so painful for me to sit like that. So
Right.
I know that my body is not as flexible as it probably should be, and I need to work on that and become more flexible.
That is so odd that you say that because I've seen you sit in a chair.
I mean, but again, my legs are like bent or crossed because
but your back is like you don't sit like this when you sit in a chair. You kind of slouch down into it, so it's like your upper body is a U shape and your legs are crossed and they're up higher than your heart for sure. So when you're like, oh, I'm not flexible, I'm just thinking about the pretzel that you become when you sit in a chair.
There's an online joke, a meme about gay guys not being able to sit in a chair correctly. Like we always sit very.
Is that really a thing, Todd?
Well, when I'm at work, I sit with my leg, at least one of my legs under my butt. I don't sit normally in an office chair usually.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
I'm never going to look at any men at work the same again. Like, how are you sitting over there? I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's true. It's there is some truth to it. I feel like the meme is there's a grain of truth to it. Yeah, it's taken a little to the extreme, but there's definitely a grain of truth. So, oh my gosh, Todd, it's been wonderful having you on the episode today. Are you ready for our So Speedy rapid fire question round?
I am. Bring it on.
Let's do it.
One, two, three, go?
Yep.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, favorite fabric designer?
Ooh, right now, Juicy Juice.
Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Do you name any of your sewing machines?
Yes. Charles, Jason, and Jacob.
All right. What's your sewing superpower?
I can lose anything in about 12 seconds.
That's a superpower I have too.
True.
Which UFO haunts you the most?
There is this kite pattern that is never. I can't get rid of it. I won't throw it out. I won't give it to anybody else, but I'm never going to finish it. And every time I open that box, it stares at me.
Stare back. Give it a mean grimace.
Give it a mean mug. Mountains or beach vacation?
Mountains.
Pre-cuts or yardage? What's your go-to?
Ooh, I prefer yardage because I never know what they've done to the pre-cut.
Yep, I agree. Ever sewn something you immediately regretted?
Yes.
What was it? I'm curious.
It was this set of weird little fat quarters, and like the whole thing just nothing worked. It was all bad. There was no good came of it. It was so bad.
Also, I don't think anybody we asked that question of will ever be able to say no.
Yeah.
What's your favorite color combo to sew with?
Anything with a dark background. So I like bright colors or saturated colors with a dark background.
Scissors, rotary cutter, or chaos?
Chaos.
100% chaos. One sewing tool you cannot live without.
That changes kind of regularly. Right now, it's my. It's not really a sewing tool. It's the Ian. I sent you a picture of it. It's the paint roller sized lint roller that I got from Walmart.
And I have ordered it as well because it's amazing. If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Pizza.
So, I don't know if you guys follow like Lollapalooza, whatever, the music fest out west.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called. A friend of mine, when he said that, I immediately thought of him. A friend of mine who I knew from the area moved to San Francisco several years ago. He doesn't live there anymore, but while he was there, he was going to the music festival, and he loves pizza. And so I don't know if you guys have seen the meme of the guy at the musical festival wearing like the pizza tank top and the pizza tight leggings.
Oh, yeah.
That's my friend Kevin.
No! What? Oh my gosh. Wow.
Sorry.
Okay.
So when he said that, I immediately was like, Kevin. We'll have to find a picture of that and throw it up on the screen.
I'll see if I can find that.
Okay. Coffee, tea, or neither?
Coffee.
What song gets you dancing every time?
Oh, every single time, Robin, Dancing on My Own.
I don't know that song. I need to hear it.
Yeah.
If you were a quilt lock, which one would you be?
Crazy.
Dream celebrity to have dinner with.
Bonus points if it's Ian.
Stop it.
Dream celebrity to have dinner with. Hugh Jackman, probably.
Oh,
All right.
can we add Ryan Reynolds to that too? Like, let's go. What's your guilty pleasure, TV show or movie?
It's everybody probably knows this. It's Buffy the Vampire Slayer is the show that I turn on whenever I need to just kind of work. I know every episode, I know every line from every episode, so I know exactly where I am, no matter what. Also Charmed, original Charmed from the 90s. Love
Yes.
Charmed. I guess I'm just kind of a 90s like supernatural girly. So any
Speaking
of that kind of
Supernatural,
stuff.
Have you that one is what I'm binging right now
Mhm.
because I was like, you know what, I didn't really watch the early seasons, so I've gone back and I'm watching all 15. I'm on season 11. It's taken me a while to get there, but all of those are shows that I like. And I gotta ask you, for Buffy, 2 questions. Number 1, who's your favorite character?
Okay. My favorite character in Buffy is probably Anya.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Are you team Spike or team Angel?
Spike. All the way.
He's hilarious. And did you watch the Angel spinoff?
I watched until they killed off Cordelia. Then I was out.
Yeah. All right. Okay, cool. What question were we on?
It's my turn, and we're on first thing you do when you wake up.
The first thing I do when I wake up is pee. I'm 47. I can't do anything until that's done.
That was Leo's answer too.
And if we're all being honest, it's probably what we should all be doing. Most used emoji.
Most used emoji. I use the girl, like the blonde girl hand emoji a lot. Yeah, that's probably that one.
Okay.
Last question. Most used phrase in your daily life.
Living the dream.
What would yours be? See, I know what yours is.
What
and
is
you
mine?
probably know mine. but we're not going to be able to think of it. You say yup
Yep.
a lot, all the time.
We've done this
Yup.
before. We've had this on the podcast before. Yep. Or 100%. I say that all the time too. I do say that all the time. Todd, thank you so much for joining us today. If people want to find you on social media, where in the world can they find you?
Where in the world is the Bear Quilter?
The Bear Quilter on TikTok, the Bear Quilter on Instagram, the Bear Quilter on there is a Facebook page that I almost never check. So you can go there. And also the Bear Quilter on YouTube. Like, it's the same everywhere.
You have a website too, right?
I do, thebearquilter.com. You can get right now merch and patterns, and I am destashing fabric. So if you want some of the fabric that's in my current stash, I am in the process of destashing fabric for super duper cheap.
I feel like you're about to get an order in about 30 seconds. So
I think it's right now, Becca. It's all Christmas that's on there.
Oh, hello. See you later. Might not be anything when the podcast drops. I'm sorry.
Well, I think we'll let Becca go shopping on your website. And thank you, everyone, for watching today. And we'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.